Hey there, everyone. How you doing this morning or afternoon when you may be seeing this? I just got an interesting marketing piece from a national syndicator, and basically, I'll get into it in detail in this PowerPoint I put together. But basically, his premise was, "Hey, you're in the Bay Area. Bay Area housing is not doing well, right? It's falling, and you should invest with me, right? Give me your money, and I'll invest it in some, high class, apartment multifamilies around the country, right? Diversify." And I could see why that message resonates with some, but as someone who's been calling the Bay Area unaffordable for 6 or 9 months now, right? You can go back and look at my videos. I think it's time for me to kind of summarize my thoughts on single family homes, which just yesterday, maybe the day before, I said are going to be great in 2020. Bay Area single family homes, right? Because in my video, I called out, hey, there are a couple exceptions to my thoughts. And then multifamily value add, multifamily properties around the country. So let me just bring this up because I don't want there to be any kind of misunderstanding. The channel is growing, and I'm afraid some people who are joining recently may just see some of my videos and not really have the history that all of us have been through. So to be clear, I am bullish on single family homes, but not in the Bay Area, right? Bay Area meaning cities like San Francisco, San Jose, Mountain View, Palo Alto, Oakland, things of those natures. So think Silicon Valley. And as you'll see in a minute, it's just because it's flat out unaffordable. And there's a host of other California problems that just make the Bay Area less desirable. So again, as I said yesterday, the day before, 2020 is going to be a great year for single family home appreciation. We have record low inventory. We have great interest rates getting better. We have a great job market. And as recent reports from Apple and Tesla have said, the consumer is spending. So affordable homes across the country are going to get snapped up. Not to mention that the millennials, who have been late entrants to the housing market, they are starting to come off the sidelines in a big way. And as the largest population to date, they are going to move the market. And again, I don't think this call on 2020 being a great year for single family homes involves my hometown. I think it's already overinflated. I think we have had a run like a lot of the unicorn stocks of the world, where people bought ahead. They bought because of the excitement, wanting to say they were homeowners. But when you're buying a 7-figure teardown, or you're buying a 1950s ranch in Santa Clara for 7 figures, I mean, it's just not normal, right? It's just unaffordable. And the fact that you now have signing up for a 15 or 20 or $30,000 property tax bill in a 50-year-old home it's just rough. And again, all this boils down to something that I track and we talk about in our book, One Rental at a Time. It's just unaffordable, right? San Francisco, by last counts, I think it's a 10 or 11, and anything below 15 is when I get nervous, right? It's just unaffordable. The only people that can afford to buy in today's market are people who have huge stock windfalls. And as we've seen over the last couple of years, those are becoming less and less frequent. And I think that's going to be true going forward. So the people who suddenly come into $500,000 or $1 million in stock, one-time stock liquidity, aren't going to be able to run out to Cupertino and buy that 50-year-old home. Then you think about all the other stuff in California, just the high taxes, the crazy commutes, the vanishing middle class. There are lots of reasons for families, young folks, to leave. Why live here? I think we're seeing a noticeable trend in migration, right, out of the Bay Area, and for lots of good reasons. And until we sort of own that and really look at it, we are going to be losing talent, right? The brain drain. It'll start slowly, and frankly has already started. But as time goes by, this is going to become an increasing problem for us. So this is the mailer that I got. This is a adjusted housing appreciation, and this is really the chart that got me to want to create a video, because I think it's accurate information, but it's very misleading in my opinion. So first off, you look at San Jose, 401, right? It fell 3%. San Francisco, 3.5%. These are all things I told you were coming, right? If you follow this channel, you can go back and look at several of my videos on the Bay Area, and I've been calling for a drop, and I'm shocked it's not bigger than that. Frankly, it's just so freaking unaffordable here. But just because it's unaffordable here doesn't mean that, this doesn't mean all of California is bad. It just means the Bay Area is not the place to buy a home, frankly. So again, the gist of this person's marketing was, hey, you live in California, you live in the Bay Area. I'm guessing they assume I have money because, Bay Area folks just have money, right? That was their blind assumption. And to be clear, I never spoke to this individual. I don't know this individual at all. They just found my email address somewhere and said, hey, you live in California, you're probably in the Bay Area, don't buy a house there, come give me money. So I thought that was an interesting ploy. So again, while it may be true the Bay Area is not affordable, when I've told you that for a long time, that does not represent average single family homes, right? The Bay Area 1950s, $1.2, $1.6 million home is not the average, right? There are plenty of markets in California that are okay. Fresno, again, just being one, right? There's the Inland Empire, Sacramento, all these other areas. Just because the Bay Area is not affordable does not mean the rest of California is unaffordable. So again, and then the other kind of logic hole I saw in the kind of marketing piece was, okay, so the Bay Area real estate is bad. We both agree. But why should I come give you money for multifamily or apartments? That's an odd reach, but I get why people look at it, right? I get why it gets people excited. You get to talk about units. You can say, hey, I own 1,000 units in Texas or whatever it is. But just because single family homes are bad here does not make multifamily a better investment. You've got to learn your market, people. Do some research. Figure out what people are paying. Figure out what people were paying a decade ago. Figure out if you can see if you're near the top or the bottom. See what's going on. You got to be very careful in a market like this. There are a lot of people out there doing shady things. And I just posted on Facebook, there was essentially a Ponzi scheme going on with one of the largest landlords in the US. And he's got to pay like a $60 million fine or something to avoid jail time. It's just nasty. And this stuff is going to go on probably quite frequently. So in my opinion, the only worse investment than a Bay Area home in 2020 is a value add multifamily with a stupid low cap rate, sub 4%, and insane expense assumptions. I'll say that again in maybe cleaner English. Multifamily value add properties with cap rates below 4% are a worse investment than Bay Area homes. So yes, Bay Area homes may be bad, but in my opinion, value add multifamily sub 4% cap rate are worse investments. So in the end, you got to do your homework. You got to protect yourself and make informed decisions. Don't just chase. Don't chase returns. This is very, very dangerous times. So be careful. So in the end, I get marketing material like this a lot. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. Just be very careful. These are dangerous times. And I'll do my best to keep you informed of what I'm seeing. You can always send me what you get, and we can talk about it. All right, everybody, have a great day.